Joining us now to review some of the headlines of today's newspapers from around the world is Arise News analyst Emmanuel Efeni. Good morning, Emmanuel.
Good morning, Ruben. Good morning, Rufai. Good morning, Victoria Tundu, MK Abiola. Yes. Good morning. Now, let's start the review with this Nigeria's newspaper of record. The lead story, APC zoning presidency to South puts PDP in quandary. Bala Mohammed, ruling party's decision constitutes no threat to us. Yes, the zoning of political offices at the party level in the APC, of course, the presumption is that the party will be looking south for its presidential candidate. But the PDP did say by zoning its chairmanship coincidentally to the same North Central, but left, at least the conversation so far, is that they are leaving open the contest for its ticket to all zones. Is that really the case? Or PDP is just waiting to see what APC will do? However, the case of APC looks straightforward. With President Muhammadu Buhari doing 8 years by 2023 for the APC to come up with another northern candidate, look like political suicide. However, nothing is clear yet because only yesterday night, former governor of Zamfara State was on Arise News Night, where he insisted, of course, he's one of the presidential aspirants from the APC, for the records. And he stated clearly that what has been done is the sharing of party offices, and that the presidential position, that is a constitutional matter. And going by the Constitution, you cannot preclude any zone from vying for the presidency of the country. Is that part of a movement within the APC? But will the southern governors, at least at one point, all agreed that the next president should come from the south? I don't know how the PDP, the governors from the south, are going to sell that to their people if eventually the PDP picks a northern candidate with a view to garnering the votes from the north. I don't think it will be that easy. But things will continue to unfold because the various PDP bigwigs that have spoken on this program and elsewhere seem to be dodging the issue, whether their final answer, as they used to say in one program, is that the presidency is thrown open to to people from all zones within the party. But we also know that some bigwigs who have political ambition have been putting pressure on the party to maintain that stance of throwing the ticket open for all zones, likes of Atiku Abubakar, who has since been singing a different tune on the issue of zoning. Of course, Bukola Saraki is also there, putting pressure on the hierarchy of the party. But we must note that Iyoshe Ayo, the chairman of the PDP, stated clearly that if it comes to a situation where they did not pick a northern candidate, he will have to step down. Is that pointing to any direction? We'll continue to watch the situation. Now, the Vanguard newspaper, convention, APC governors, other stakeholders battle over party chair. Consultations, horse trading as party leaders split over North Central, Northwest. Those against convention are not giving up, now want to dictate who becomes chairman. Source adds, they are targeting somebody close to Buhari's most trusted minister. Who has that title, Buhari's most trusted minister? I don't know. But the Daily Trust newspaper is more specific. Buhari endorses Abdullahi Adamu as APC chairman. Convention to ratify nomination. Aspirants kick. Of course, this report, quoting sources, claim that President Muhammadu Buhari has endorsed a former governor of Nasarawa State as the chairman or the next chairman of the ruling party, according to credible source. Daily Trust is reporting. Of course, Abdullahi Adamu, former governor of Nasarawa State, and of course, senator of the Federal Republic. Well, we'll see whether that is the case, because it has been reported earlier that Abdullahi Adamu seemed to be the man for the job. Now, the leadership newspaper, as APC PDP considers southern ticket, hope of Igbo presidency dims over killings in the southeast. Regional leaders blame for worsening situation. It's not enough to deny us presidency or Hanese protest. Attacks unacceptable. Northern groups fumes. Attacks ahead of 2023 elections challenging INEC. Yes, the killing of the East, they are of concern. Only over the weekend, a childhood friend of mine was cut down when he was kidnapped. And there is sorrow in the family right now. Now, the Punch newspaper, Constitution Amendment, outrage as National Assembly considers life pension for presiding officers is wasteful, self-centered, rejected. CSOs tell lawmakers is financial burden. Committee recommends pension for Senate President, Speaker, and their deputies. Of course, the votes for the constitutional amendment will take place next Tuesday and Wednesday. And the number of issues, this life pension for principal officers of the National Assembly happens to be one of them. The Daily Sun is reporting another aspect of the amendment. National Assembly proposes immunity for judges, legislators, independent candidacy as lawmakers lay report. Of course, we also recall that the First Lady Aisha Buhari was at the National Assembly yesterday when the report of the amendment was being laid at the House of Representatives and the Senate. And of course, he's there to push for 35% affirmative action for women, reserving 35% of legislative seats for women. How are you going to do that? You force some constituencies or senatorial districts to field women? Well, we'll see how it goes. Now, the Guardian newspaper, How to Restructure Nigeria by AFDB President Additional, clarifies why older generation must give way to young. Agbakoba, Abdullahi, others unveil next president. Of course, the president of the AFDB, Dr. Akiwumi Additional, lending his voice to the contentious topic on the need to restructure Nigeria. Many think he should be one of those to be considered as Nigeria's next president. It's a good material any day. Now, Daily Independent newspaper, federal government declares ASU strike illegal after meeting ends in deadlock. They will meet again next week. We hope both parties will ensure that this strike is called off and the federal government ensure that it meets its obligation. Having signed a number of MOUs and MOAs, Memorandum of Action. Now, the Business Day newspaper, Boa Foods, Notori, UPDC on track to sell controlling shares in a bid to make more of their equities available to invest in public. Newly listed Boa Foods, Notori Chemical Industries PLC, UPDC, and Transcorp Hotels are among 7 companies that have set timelines to sell down the shares of their controlling investors. Now, the foreign newspapers quickly. The Wall Street Journal, Russia strikes Ukraine. Air attacks, missiles hit Kiev, other cities. Biden pledges further steps to punish Russia. While the New York Times also reporting this story, Russia attacks as Putin warns world. Biden vows to hold him accountable. Large explosions in Ukrainian cities. Moscow says not to interfere. While the Times of London is reporting students set to shoulder 100,000 pounds bill for degrees, loans to last until retirement under the new changes.
Unfortunately, Emmanuel Efeni, we've run out of time. We'd just like to thank you very much for the review of top stories in newspapers from around the world. Thank you very much.